Last night, I moderated a panel of Israeli ICOs, and there I met Omri Ross, who's the founder of Firmo, a derivatives trading ICO. I caught up with him again at Consensus and sat down with him to talk about the project. So, Omri, you told me that you've got a working product. It's not just a white paper. Show me how the product works.
Yeah. So in this case, while we're not an exchange, I want to show you how an exchange will use the Firmo protocol, because we think that's an excellent use case. As we said, the derivative market is a huge market, and let's focus on that one.
So let's slow it down a bit. Let's talk for our viewers that don't know exactly what you guys do. Just explain what a derivative is, how it works.
Right. So a derivative is any product which price is based on a different product. So for example, if we think about a future price of Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin in 1 month's time. So we can make a contract today that says I'm going to buy Bitcoin in 1 month's time, saying $10,000. But we don't know the real price in 1 month's time. So this way, this contract is called derivatives because it's derived of that price.
So you're buying a future contract on Bitcoin at a price of $10,000. Exactly. So how would you do it on your system?
So on our system, you log in for the exchange. Then you will just use the GUI directly to create a product. For example, a future product. In a future product, you will pick what assets you want to trade at what other assets. For example, Ethereum and Gnosis. You'll find the exchange rate taken directly. In this case, the exchange rate from Gnosis to Ethereum. So let's log in here for our exchange demo. In that case, you can create a new future product. For example, a future that's going to swap one asset to another one. In this case, you can pick Ethereum to Gnosis, for example.
So you're saying we're going to change 23 Ethereum into 236 Gnosis.
Yeah.
Now, how do we decide when?
You decide when by actually picking the date when this is going to be expired in the same next asset. So you put here what is the end day of that contract, and you press the next button. Then you can review what you have created here. It was actually a lower amount, just 1.23 Ether. The exchange rate was 236 from it. And then you can see the expiry date, and you can just create the product.
So now
then you can come to the marketplace.
I've created a contract.
Exactly.
Now that contract's now gone to a marketplace where people can see that I've asked for this contract.
Exactly. And then people can log in on their side and actually buy or sell that product from the other side.
So basically, if I want to create a contract to buy, and there's another party that wants to sell this contract, the two will match, and we create a contract.
Exactly.
Now, how big do you think this market is?
I think it's going to be huge, because I'm learning from the traditional markets for derivatives. This market is estimated up to $1.2 quadrillion.
Is the derivatives market actually bigger than the real market, than the underlying market?
Way bigger than the underlying market, and even bigger than the world GDP. If you take the full world production GDP, we're speaking about 15 times the world GDP.
So you've built a system that with 5 clicks creates futures contracts and options on crypto, and you've launched a token to drive this.
That's correct.
Why do I need a token?
Mainly because on our side, a really important element is that we don't want to just create a speculative market. We want to actually support a real production. And in our case, whenever you're running a derivatives, right, for example, a future, you want to make sure that there will be money to be paid in case of the counterparty default, right? And that portion of the escrow is kept in a token.
So the escrow is actually a smart contract in this case, whereas in the traditional world, the escrow is not a smart contract, it's actually a business.
Exactly.
So you've replaced intermediaries, financial intermediaries, with a smart contract. You've tokenized, very simply, a way to create futures contracts on crypto, and you believe that this will be bigger than the crypto market itself.
That's right.
Wow. Genius. How do I get involved?
So currently it's a private sale for accredited investors, but people are very welcome to get in touch with us, and we share with you more information.
That's Firmo.network.